Moving into the next match, another cracker. Looking forward to this one. A player that we haven't seen, or at least I haven't seen previously in any matches, didn't cast any of it, and a substitute, PaetauliK, also known as Pete, from the United Kingdom, seeded nothing into the tournament because he wasn't meant to be here in the first place, but due to some dropouts, Pete was nice enough to kind of drop in the middle of the cup, and since his join, he's absolutely been tearing up. He won 3 matches in his group stage and only drew 1, which was against VeGiTO, who we saw yesterday. And with this result, he actually came seed 1 into the playoffs. But here we go, we're underway.
And Pete with the Zan boss skin, just throwing out some of the mermaid binds that he has, which is always very much appreciated. And yeah, coming into, in my opinion, the best map of the division.
Interesting, yeah. I mean, Pete making 2 minor mistakes there, not causing him a death or anything, but costing him a bit of time, which has allowed VeGiTO to take a small lead here. Although Pete seems to be rushing. Ooh, misses the dodge, and then, wow, Pete misses the first dodge. He saves it by walking off onto another pillar, but as a result, he messed up his sequence, and I think it was a bit of a brain lag there. He was expecting to do a dodge on the next part, and over-dodged. Absolutely, yeah, not great stuff there by Pete. Don't want to be taking such an early death, and that's what we have seen here. But VeGiTO, the pressure, the Portuguese pressure is back. He's been too slow on the sequence, and the platform has gone down under him, and as a result, he's fallen into the lava. Advantage Pete.
Want to do a shout out to Corny, who said, "Watch out for the blades, guys." That seems a very appropriate comment from Corny.
Corny, yeah, from his new bat. Oh, speaking of the blades, we have Pete there, getting ripped in half. He just mistimed that sequence in general. Pete taking a death there. Advantage VeGiTO now. I mean, we'll see how he approaches it now. He is using it to push himself now, not taking the jump approach. Nice adaptation there by Pete.
Yeah, and now VeGiTO coming up to the infamous blades room. Shout out to Corny, Vader, and Black Bunny. Oh dear.
As Pete takes a death where VeGiTO did, but that being said, VeGiTO making the Corny mistake. Corny's in chat, proud. But VeGiTO, I mean, the Portuguese pressure, time punishing, these ones are death punishing, so, you know, every little mistake. And Pete getting pushed by the thing, and that's the randomness that we're talking about. He gets crushed, basically, by the mover, and his safe strat has turned out not to be so safe in the end.
That does happen, those blades, and also this section coming up with VeGiTO, sometimes he can bump you. Oh, misses the shot, though, or misses the dodge, even. And back to the blades now. We've seen him take a death here. Let's see.
The Portuguese pressure. Makes the first one. Oh, lands on the blade on the second time through, but doesn't kill him, luckily. And VeGiTO's going to come through and take his first cap here.
Yeah, hits the shortcut shot. Oh, misses the flag.
He could get crushed? Oh, that was a bit sketchy. I'm not sure what the timing is there, but... and Pete not going for the shortcut. Looks like he doesn't know about it. He didn't even attempt it.
I can't imagine he wouldn't know about it with the guys teaching him the map. Maybe he just, you know, you do have to have some good air control to make sure you don't crater when you hit that shot, you know, turning around backwards and shooting it. So maybe he just didn't want to risk it this time. Here we go, VeGiTO.
This time making the first blade, no problem. Second time landing on the blade again. Looking very sketchy there, but does make it through and pretty much secured his second cap here.
And I just want to make a shout out to Black Bunny, who we saw die at the blades. It could, I think, 4 times in his group match. Black Bunny obviously coming in as a substitute as well at the last minute. But I want to shout out to him because he did die at the blades once where he landed on the second blade and it carried him onto the other side, into the blade on the other side. And it was the most beautiful death on Mesablanca I've ever seen.
I mean, VeGiTO at this point, match point for him. Wow, what's happening? Oh, Pete! Pete is stuck! Yeah. Pete's stuck in the bouncer. What happened? Did he head bump?
He head bumped on the the wooden beam moving to the side, and he didn't quite land back in the bouncer.
And here we go, VeGiTO making the shortcut. Only could get crushed here, but he does not. VeGiTO taking the first map here, taking the map off of Pete. Here we go, getting underway. Viewers on Pete, viewers on VeGiTO. Let's get this match underway. Map number 2, VeGiTO with a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, this is looking proper clean from Pete, actually. You know, there's not really many places to die on basic, as we know. It all comes down to this last section, which Pete is just coming up to. But yeah, and VeGiTO there as well.
I'm getting my instant replay hotkey ready for this. Let's see how Pete approaches it. He makes the shot as expected from a CTF player. Let's see how he times it. Gets the head bump, but he doesn't know of the safe strat, and he's in the slime. VeGiTO makes it, but Pete gets the head bump. Didn't watch the stream earlier on. I guess he was practicing, and as a result, he's in the slime and dead.
And then he tried to recover by landing at the lower section of the room again, but he bumped into the wall up high, and it didn't let him. So that's such an unfortunate death for him.
It was a very recoverable thing that he did. I mean, he bounced against the roof, yes, but if he just landed anywhere on the side, then he would have been fine. It was not like a really big head bump where it sent him straight down.
There's a little bit of recovery to do, adaptation, and just couldn't quite manage it that time. Oof, Pete getting stuck there as well.
Yeah, so VeGiTO taking a commanding lead on the second map, looking to go 2-0 in this game. Yeah, I mean, Pete came through as the top seed, so this is quite surprising to see. I think a lot of people, I mean, would have put their money on Pete if there was a CN bookie around.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with VeGiTO's showing, actually. I remember, I don't know, before the Cup actually started, this might have been maybe 3 to 4 weeks ago, I checked out one of his streams, and this guy was struggling to catch... Oh, Pete.
Oh, Pete.
He'll be okay. He'll be okay. But yeah, VeGiTO was struggling to cap BT illness. I saw on the stream he was on it for like a half hour.
Oh, VeGiTO, no! And VeGiTO's gone! He missed the shot. As a result, he couldn't save himself there, and that's an instant death. Meanwhile, Pete, on the left-hand side, also falling into crack, and both players reset. That was Pete's chance to come back into this game.
Yeah, it's so unlucky. I really feel for him at the moment. He's like, you know, that's 2 really late deaths for him, and he'll be like just so aggrieved and annoyed by that, because he's had a really good game on this map so far. It's just so unfortunate for him. Yeah, both players coming up again to that hard lift jump. VeGiTO will get there probably 5 or 10 seconds before Pete.
And we'll see how both players approach this. I mean, VeGiTO hasn't looked very confident on this part. I'm surprised that this is one of his picks, because yesterday when we saw him play this, and today, and VeGiTO taking another death, as I was just saying, VeGiTO just hasn't looked confident in that room. I'm so surprised with this pick. Pete, on the other hand, also struggling there, and both players back in the spawn room now.
Oh my word, it's just the signature of this map. It's just relentless, isn't it? I think we should have like a highlights video compiling together every single death at that section on this map. I think we may add up to about, I don't know, 20 or 30 by the time this cup finishes. I think, yeah, it's just a really hard obstacle as well. Like, you know, whenever I play this map, I'm probably 50-50 at that section when I'm trying. You know, it is a really, really hard lift jump, and you know, swimming in the slime just before you have to jump as it rises out the slime, it can just be a bit awkward to pull that off. So it's tough.
Yeah, here we go. VeGiTO approaching again. Pete as well. Let's see how VeGiTO approaches on his first try around. Hits the shot. Let's see. He gets the timing and lift jump. Makes it through, no problem. Pete. No! Pete has failed. Pete cannot pass that room.
Yeah, so VeGiTO coming up to the 2-0 now, and as long as he doesn't do what he did against Lockpick, where he did actually die with the flag here as well, but I doubt we'll see a repeat of that.
Yeah, I remember that very, very well. He stood up there, had a smoke of a cigarette, and missed the door closing on him. Show you the strats. Every little bit adds up, and yeah, grinding the hell out of BT will... or Pete. Again.
Yeah, no, that's probably it. He almost missing that jump. He's gonna have to go for it now.
Makes a nice stuff there by Pete, finally making it through the room that's plagued him. He did make it to the flags before, and funnily enough, if this was his second cap, he would be putting the pressure on VeGiTO here.
Yeah, he really would, and it's so unfortunate for him. Like, I know I said that quite a few times. I just feel like he's been desperately unlucky so far, and hopefully we'll be able to get his first cap now.
Looks like it, and on the other side of the screen, VeGiTO did make the tough room, so no real place for him to die at this point. Pete's going to get his first cap, but VeGiTO's making his way to the flag room now, and looking very confident to take a 2-0 lead here against Pete.
Yeah, should be. And oops, that looked like he might have fallen down then, but he did make it. And yeah, good map pick again for VeGiTO.
Oh! VeGiTO does the same thing as Pete did in the flag room, and that is huge. I mean, Pete, how much time do we have left? 2 minutes left in the game. Yeah. He's got enough time to get a cap in and then tie the match, which will take us into overtime.
All VeGiTO really has to do is just hopefully get past the lift jump at the end.
I mean, it's that Portuguese pressure that we're always talking about, right? And, I mean, VeGiTo's showing it off right here. He can be a very, very solid player when he needs to be, but at some points, you know, he just lets his guard slip. And we saw this yesterday as well on the same map. And, you know, while I think that VeGiTo's still the clear favorite here to win this map, if Pete can get a cap in here, it's really going to put that pressure onto VeGiTo.
Yeah, for sure. And Pete coming up to the lift.
And he makes it. And here he's got the chance to tie it up here.
But hats off to Pete if he caps this. You know, this is clutch because he's got what, a minute left into the map, or 40 seconds even.
Oh, and he misses it again! Pete! That is heartbreaking. That is heartbreaking Bunnytrack right there. 30 seconds left on the clock, the chance to tie it up against VeGiTo in the quarterfinals, and he's missed that jump twice.
Yeah, I feel for him. It's especially that far into the map. I guess like the flag room as well, you don't really expect to die there. So yeah, it's just it's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. This map is just all about speed ultimately, and he'll have practiced it well. So let's see.
Let's see. So Pete on the left-hand side, VeGiTo on the right-hand side. VeGiTo taking a little bit more health there. Is curious to see what their tactics are going to be going down this first little fall bit here. Whether they'll take a lot of HP. Yeah, VeGiTo's going for the big hit at the bottom. Pete as well. Pete going for the full way and going to gain him about 1.5 seconds there. Yeah, I mean, if they continue at this pace, I'm not sure. I think Pete might be able to outrush VeGiTo here, as we see, you know, every room he's gaining 1-2 tenths. And, you know, a very nice line there by Pete, a very Russia-like line. So I can see that he's been practicing this map.
Yeah, this is looking good. This is looking really good for Pete. He's just got to try and hold his nerve now and hopefully not be too frustrated with what happened in the first 2 maps. And yeah, much faster there than VeGiTo.
Lighter body, you know, makes you dodge faster.
And he's got such a better technique in that jumps room. VeGiTo taking quite a few diagonal jumps there.
Yep.
Taking it really safe, and yeah, Pete doing it the much faster way.
Although that being said, Pete's end is a little bit slower than VeGiTo. VeGiTo much more confident. And that's where we see him catching up.
I'm not. Did these guys set my starts before the match? Because I think Pete may have had a worse spawn there than VeGiTo.
Oh! And that's Pete with a huge mistake. VeGiTo with the exact same mistake in the same spot right after him. And we're basically reset here. Again, back to that 4-second lead. But both players had 86 health going to that spot, and that's why they couldn't do it. And yeah, and now we have Pete in the lead. And VeGiTo's going to have to rush his little heart out here. We did see Pete being a little bit slower through this section. I think VeGiTo still not adjusting his run, though. But Pete, you know, as long as he doesn't go too slowly here, should be fine. Oh, Pete makes a mistake. VeGiTo's at the same spot. VeGiTo's a little bit quicker here. Oh, and Pete dies! And Pete dies! Pete is out, and VeGiTo takes the map. Holy shit, Nen.
Oh my god. Oh man,
Pete with the choke of the century there.